Hello friends. In this video, we are going to study about the power stages of three-phase induction motor. So what is the meaning of power stages? We apply the input to the stator winding, then the rotating magnetic field is produced in the stator. So whenever the supply is given to the stator winding, the power is generated which is then transferred to the rotor and then we get the output power. So the power stages indicate the stages in which the power is transferred from stator to rotor and finally at the output. So let us see what we are going to learn in this session. So the learning objectives are, first we are going to discuss about the input power equation. Then we will discuss about the stator loss. We have rotor losses. Then we are going to learn about the mechanical power developed. Then we are going to study about the rotational losses. And finally, we are going to interpret all these factors to understand the power stages of three-phase induction motor. So let us begin with today's video or this session. So see here, you can see this diagram. This diagram clearly indicates what are the power stages of three-phase induction motor. But let's just not go to the power stages. Let's just try to understand what happens actually in induction motor. So we are giving the three-phase AC supply to the stator winding. So that is our input power. So whenever we are giving supply to the stator winding, along with the power generated, there are always certain losses. So those losses are core loss and copper loss. Now, when we subtract these losses from the input power, whatever output we are getting, that output will be transferred to the rotor. So let us call that output as PG, that is the air gap power. Now, when this power is transferred to the rotor, it acts as the input power to the rotor. Now, again, there are the losses in the rotor. So when we subtract those from this power, we get the developed mechanical power. Then again, when we go to the shaft, there are certain losses. And finally, we will get the output power. So in this way, the power flows from supply to the stator, from stator via air gap to the rotor, then from rotor to the shaft, and finally at the output. So whole this process are nothing but the power stages of motor. Now first of all, let us study what is the input equation. So the input power to an induction motor is nothing but it is formed with the three-phase voltage and current. So it is given by following equation. This we already know. Pi, that is the input power, is equal to root 3 VL Im cos phi I. So here voltage and current is indicated in line voltage and line current terms. That is converted into phase voltage. So we get Pi is equal to 3 V phase I phase cos phi I. So here cos phi I is nothing but the input power factor. Now let us study about the stator losses. As I have already mentioned, when we are giving supply to the stator winding, whatever power is generated in the stator winding, along with that power, there are also certain losses. So let us see what are those losses. So the losses in the stator are as follow. I square loss in the stator winding resistance. So the winding of the stator will have its own resistance. So whenever the current flows through this resistance, there is always the I square R loss. So that loss is given by PSC is equal to 3 I square P RP. So here phase quantities are considered. Let it be equation number 1. Now this loss is called as copper loss because the windings are basically made up of copper. Now when the current flows through this winding, the loss occurs. So this loss is called as copper loss and it is given by PSC is equal to 3 I square P RP. Let it be equation number 1. Also there are core losses which consist of hysteresis and eddy current losses. So these are denoted by PS H plus E. So S denotes stator and H denotes hysteresis loss, E denotes eddy current loss. Now these losses are called as core loss because these losses occur in the core of the stator, or we can say in the stack. So now what will be the output of the stator? So whatever losses are created, that is our stator copper loss and the stator core loss. These losses are subtracted from the input and then finally we get the output. So output of the stator is nothing but Pi, that is the input power, minus PSC, that is the stator copper loss, minus PS H plus E, that is the core loss or hysteresis and eddy current loss. So when the losses are subtracted from the input power, finally we get output of the stator. Now this output of the stator via air gap will be transferred to the rotor. So it will act as the input to the rotor. So we can say that this output power of the stator is transferred to the rotor through air gap between the stator and rotor. So this power is also called as air gap power, and it is the input power of the rotor. So we can say that output power of the stator, that is this, is nothing but air gap power, is nothing but the input power of the stator. So we saw the first stage, that is the supply was given to the stator winding. So the power input to the stator winding we have determined. Then when the power is given to the stator winding, there are certain losses associated with the stator winding and stator core. So when we subtract these losses, that is the core loss and copper loss, from the input, we will get the output of the stator. Now this output of the stator is called as air gap power, because via air gap it will be transferred to the rotor. So it will act as the input to the rotor. So the output power of the stator is nothing but the air gap power, is nothing but the input power of the stator. So POS, that is the output power of the stator, is equal to PG, that is the air gap power, is equal to PIR, that is the input power of the rotor. That will be equation number 2. So this was about the stator. Now the power is transferred from stator to rotor. So again there will be certain losses associated with the rotor. So let us see what are the rotor losses. Just like the stator, there are also the I square R losses in the rotor resistance, which are given by PRC is equal to 3 I2 square R2. So here I2 R2 represent the current and resistance of the rotor. These losses are called as rotor copper loss. Just as there was the stator copper loss, we have the rotor copper loss. Now there are also hysteresis and eddy current loss in the rotor core, or the core losses, just similar to stator. So those are PR, HE. Now R represents rotor. These are called as rotor losses. Now also, in addition to this, there are certain friction and windage losses. Because our rotor is a rotating part, there will be friction and windage losses. It is denoted by PFE. Now there are certain losses which are not accounted in all these losses. So those are called as stray load losses, denoted by P miscellaneous, and they consist of all the losses which are not covered. For example, like the losses due to the harmonic field. Now let us see what is the mechanical power developed. Now till now what we have seen, input is given to the stator, that is the input power to the stator. After subtracting the losses, we get the power output of the stator, which is nothing but the air gap power or rotor input power. Now when the power reaches the rotor, there are certain losses in the rotor as well. Now let us see what is the mechanical power developed. Now when we are subtracting the rotor copper losses from the rotor input power, then whatever power is left, that will get converted into mechanical energy. So the actual power which is converted from electrical to mechanical form is the power which will be subtracted from the input power, or when the losses are subtracted from the input power, then whatever power is left, this power gets converted into mechanical form. So it is called as developed mechanical power. So the copper losses of the rotor, when they are subtracted from the rotor input, that is PIR, or it is called as air gap power PG, or it is nothing but the output power of the stator. At that time, whatever power is left, that power gets converted into mechanical form. That is called as developed mechanical power. So we can say that developed mechanical power is equal to rotor input power minus rotor copper loss. So if we formulate this, we get PMD is equal to PIR minus PRC. So PIR is equal to nothing but rotor input power, and PRC is nothing but rotor copper loss. So PIR is nothing but PG. So again, PMD is equal to PG minus PRC. This we got from equation number 2. Now the formula of PRC is nothing but 3 I2 square R2. So again the equation can be modified as PMD is equal to PIR minus 3 I2 square R2. Now there is another power that is called as shaft power, or the useful power, that is the actual power which we get at the output of the induction motor. So let us see what is this power P0. So it is nothing but the output power of the motor, which is given by PMD minus P friction and windage minus P miscellaneous. So we can say that whatever developed mechanical power is obtained it is obtained after subtracting the rotor copper losses from the rotor input. Now from this developed mechanical power, when we subtract the friction and windage losses and the stray load losses, then whatever power is left, that is nothing but our output power of the motor. So the output power of the motor is PMD, that is developed mechanical power, minus power due to friction and windage loss, minus the stray load losses. So output power equation of the motor becomes PO is equal to PMD minus PFW minus P miscellaneous. Here P0 or PO, that is output power, is also called as shaft power of the useful power. Now there are also the rotational losses. Now why rotational losses? Because we know that rotor is a rotating quantity. So whenever rotor is rotating, there will be certain rotational losses. Now at starting and during the acceleration, rotor core losses are very high. So with the increase in speed, the rotor core loss will decrease. So the friction and windage losses are zero at the start. As the speed of the motor increases, these losses increase. So as a result of this, some friction and windage loss and the core loss are roughly constant with the changing speed. Therefore, this category of losses are combined together and they are also called as rotational losses. So if you want to define the rotational losses, then it can be written in this formula. Rotational loss is nothing but friction and windage loss plus core loss, that is hysteresis plus eddy current loss, plus your stray load loss, that is miscellaneous loss. Then if we want to denote the output power equation in terms of the rotational loss, we can simply say output power is equal to PMD minus rotational losses. Now, what are the rotational losses? They consist of friction and windage loss, hysteresis and eddy current loss, and the miscellaneous losses, that is the stray load loss. So, if we subtract the rotational losses from the mechanical power developed, we get the formula of the output power. So, here again, rotational losses are mentioned properly. So, output power is equal to PMD minus P friction and windage minus P hysteresis and eddy current minus miscellaneous, that is stray load loss. So this is the actual equation for the output power of the motor. Now let us see what are the power stages of three-phase induction motor. If you can see here on the screen, so the relationship between electrical input and the mechanical output of an induction motor can be represented in various power stages. We know that three-phase induction motor is a machine which converts the electrical energy into mechanical energy. So obviously when we give the electrical input, we will receive the mechanical output. So the relationship between whatever electrical input is provided to the motor and after the conversion, whatever mechanical output is received, this can be represented in certain stages. These stages are called as power stages. So if we see here, we are providing input to the stator winding. So that is our stator input or the input power, as we have seen. Now in stator, there are I square R, that is the copper loss in the stator, and the core loss of the stator. So when we subtract the copper loss and core loss of the stator from the input power, we will get the stator output power. So these losses, when they are subtracted from the input power, we get the stator output power. Now the stator output power is also called as air gap power, as we have seen. So this output of stator is then transferred to the rotor. So it acts as the rotor input power. Now when this power reaches the rotor, then in rotor also there are the I square R losses. So when we subtract these copper losses of the rotor from the input rotor power, which is nothing but the air gap power, which is nothing but the stator output power, then whatever power is developed, that is called as total mechanical power. And now when we subtract from this total mechanical power, rotor core loss, then friction and windage loss, and the stray load loss, then finally we get the useful power, that is the output power of the motor. So these are the power stages of three-phase induction motor. First, the power is transferred to the stator. Then there are losses in the stator. When these losses of the stator are subtracted from the power, we get the output power of the stator. That is nothing but the air gap power, which is nothing but the rotor input power. Now, when we subtract the losses of the rotor from the rotor input power, we get the total mechanical power developed. Then when we subtract the rotor core loss, friction and windage loss and the strain load loss from the total mechanical power, then finally we get the output mechanical power of the motor. So this is the relationship which shows the relation between input electrical power to the output mechanical power. So being a purely mechanical quantity, the rotational losses are not represented in any element of the equivalent circuit. As we go further, we are going to study the equivalent circuit. So at that time, these rotational losses will not be represented because they are purely mechanical quantity. So these are the power stages of three-phase induction motor. Thank you.